Hello, welcome back. This is part 2 of chapter 11 Work and Energy. This is from class 9 CBSE, the NCRT book. My name is Avantika and I am going to be teaching you this. I hope you have seen the first part before you came here, because if you haven't, then you have to go there and watch that first, because you will get to learn about the basic concepts of work and energy. And we are going to be talking about different forms of energy today. Therefore, you need to see that video before you come here. Okay. So I hope you have your books open. As I keep telling you, keep your books open, keep jotting down notes, keep making comments or whatever, and let's move ahead. So this is what we learned in part 1. We learned that work is considered to be done if force is applied and object is displaced. Both these things are required. Work done on an object is defined as the magnitude of force multiplied by the distance moved by the object in the direction of applied force. Okay, this is work done on an object. Okay, unit of joule work is joule, where 1 joule is equal to 1 newton into 1 meter. Work done on an object by a force would be 0 if the displacement of the object is 0, or if the displacement has some value but the force applied is 0, then again work done is 0. An object that has the capability or the capacity to do work is said to possess energy. Energy has the same unit as that of work, that is joule. Sometimes it is also kilojoule, okay, which is 1000 joule. So now we come to forms of energy. Hmm? There are many sources of energy in this world. Like I told you in the previous video, most of the energy in our world comes from solar energy, except some things like nuclear energy or geothermal energy. Directly or indirectly, it depends on solar energy. We have heat energy, we have chemical energy, we have electrical energy, we have light energy, we have mechanical energy. What is solar energy? It is a form of light energy. Hmm? And it also has heat energy in it, right? Because of different, you feel hot when you go there, so in the sun. So heat energy, chemical energy, electric, these are different forms of energy that you can have. Chemical energy includes energy from the breaking of chemical bonds. When you have some compounds, we have talked about compounds and we have talked about equations. For example, this gets converted to this. ऐसे हमने बात की है in the first few chapters, I think third or fourth chapter or something. So we have spoken about chemical energy, about bonds, and about how certain compounds are formed. So when these compounds, some of the compounds that are formed give out energy, right? Some compounds, when they are formed, they need energy. So when these compounds are formed, they give off energy that can be used. That is also chemical energy, right? When certain compounds are made, they require energy, and then when you break those compounds, they give off that energy. That is chemical energy. Okay. Now, chemical energy is generally what is done when plants take light energy or solar energy and they convert it into different chemicals, right? And those chemicals you eat, and those chemicals then they get broken down in your body and therefore give off energy, right? This is chemical energy. Now, mechanical energy is what we are going to be focusing on in this chapter. These can be potential energy or kinetic energy. Okay. Now, kinetic energy, these are some activities that have been given to you to talk about, to make you understand how to what kinetic energy is. Now, you take a heavy ball and you drop it on a thick bed of sand. A wet bed of sand would be better. I don't know if you're going to be able to do this, but it is given in your book. I thought it would be better to explain these in order to explain this concept. Drop the ball on the sand bed from a height of about 25 centimeter. The ball creates a depression. Repeat this activity from heights of 50 centimeter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, and ensure that all the depressions are distinctly visible. Mark the depressions to indicate the height from which the ball was dropped and compare their depths. Which one of them is the deepest? Which one is the shallowest? Now, it comes as a logical uh, thing to you. कि अगर an object is dropped from a greater height, it will create a greater depression, right? Isn't that so? If you drop something from 25 centimeter, it will create a depression, but it will be shallow, ज़्यादा deep नहीं होगा. If you uh, if you throw something from 1.5 meter, वो तो उससे काफी ज़्यादा deep होगा, right? क्यों होगा? Because it came down with a certain force, with a certain energy, और वो उसने उस sand में डाला. Now this, in this, conservation of momentum also comes into the play. You have talked about conservation of momentum. क्या होता है? Because it is coming down with a certain momentum, then the sand particles get that momentum, and the higher the momentum, they will also, in order to conserve that momentum, वो transfer हो रहा है तो you have to conserve that momentum ना. तो जितना ball का momentum होगा, the sand particles will also get that kind of momentum, right? And therefore you have to conserve that momentum. The ball will come to a stop. Now, because an object that is falling from a greater height will get a greater velocity. Remember, it comes from a greater height, therefore it gets a greater velocity. Therefore, it comes down with a greater velocity with the force that is acting on it. What is the force that is acting on it? Gravitational force. The higher the velocity, the higher the momentum, or higher the mass, the higher the momentum. But in this case, remember, when you're talking about gravitational force, force doesn't depend on mass, but momentum depends on mass. तो अगर आप जितना हाइट से उसको थ्रो करोगे, उसको उतना ज़्यादा वेलोसिटी मिलेगा, and that velocity converts into higher momentum, and that higher momentum, when it comes down on the sand, that it gets transferred to that sand, right? And there is a conservation of momentum. Therefore, there is a greater depression when there is greater momentum. So if you throw it from a higher height, therefore the depth will be greater, right? This is explanation on the basis of what you already know. Okay. There's another activity that you have to set up this apparatus as shown. I don't think you will be able to do this. Place a wooden block of known mass in front of the trolley at a fixed convenient. This is a trolley, this is force, and this is a wooden block of known mass in front of the trolley at a convenient fixed distance. Place a known mass on the pan so that the trolley starts. So you have this, and what you do is, in order to have some, this is a pulley system, okay? Yeah, this thread is connecting it to directly to this. So you put a certain mass, and this mass now gets this gets pulled down by gravity. ठीक है? तो gravity से ये pull होगा, तो indirectly this will also get pulled, right? So fix a stop on the table in such a manner that the trolley stops after getting hit by the block. The block gets displaced. Now this is force से it is moving. This gravitational force which is acting on this object here, उसी force से ये भी यहाँ से move करेगा, and therefore it will stop somewhere that you have put a block, right? So work is done on the block by the trolley as the block has gained energy. From where does this energy come? This energy comes from the fact that यहाँ पे this block is being acted upon by gravitational force, and therefore it is pulling this. Therefore it is getting the capacity to do work, and therefore it is doing some work, है ना? तो इसको ये force आया, it moves a certain displacement, therefore it is doing work. Eventually it comes to a stop, हाँ? But what happens is this block moves. इधर आके ये stop होगा, block को पकड़ेगा तो. Now this block moves a certain distance when the force was applied by the trolley. Therefore, this work is now being done on this block, right? If you repeat this activity by increasing the mass on the pan, अगर आप, let me remove this, अगर आप इस पे ज़्यादा, if you put a higher amount of mass on it, what will happen? The force of gravitation remains the same, right? But what will happen? It will get a higher displacement. In which case is the displacement more? In which case is the work done more? Okay, please keep that in mind. In this activity, the moving trolley does work and hence it possesses energy. is mass, ये जो है, this trolley, it started to move under the influence of the force exerted by pulling down of this pan. Okay, now this energy makes, इस ये किसी एनर्जी से मूव किया आगे, yeah, right? So if this is moving with some energy, it is exerting this same energy on this block when it reaches this block. इस ब्लॉक के पहुंचने के बाद ये जो एनर्जी थी ट्रॉली में, दिस मेक्स द ब्लॉक डू सम अमाउंट ऑफ वर्क which is equal to, which is the which make means it is moving a certain distance. Okay, so this energy that is on that trolley is called kinetic energy, right? So there are some questions on this. No, okay, I think this is all. So what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the work that is done by a moving object. That is, the capacity of a moving object to do work is called kinetic energy. It is the capacity to do work but by a moving object. That is called kinetic energy. An object moving faster does more work, right? An object moving faster does more work. ये थोड़ा logical भी है, right? This capacity to do work is called kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by an object due to its motion. The energy of an object because it is moving is called kinetic energy. So a falling coconut, a speeding car, a rolling stone, a flying aircraft, flowing water, blowing wind, running athlete, rotating wind, moving bullet, they all possess kinetic energy. Okay? Kinetic energy increases with speed. Kinetic energy increases with speed. Kinetic energy of a body moving with a certain velocity is equal to the work done on it to make it acquire that velocity. Kinetic, please read this again. Kinetic energy of a body moving with a certain velocity is equal to the work done on it to make it acquire that velocity. यानी उस ऑब्जेक्ट पे जितना काम किया so that it acquires that velocity is equal to the energy that it has. Okay, v velocity अगर achieve करने के लिए some amount of work has been done on that object, then that kinetic energy is the product is because of the work done on an object. आपको ऐसे for example this block that moved, not exactly the block that moved, but the trolley in the previous example that you saw, where a work was done on that object, where that trolley moved a certain distance because a certain force was applied to it, वो work done की वजह से वो move करने लगा and therefore it got a certain amount of energy and that energy is called kinetic energy. Now, an object of mass m displaced through distance f when a force f, distance s when a force f acts on it in the direction of displacement. Okay, consider this. The work done is work is equal to f into s. Now let it change its velocity from u to v. We know that v square minus u square is equal to 2as. We know this from our previous videos. So s, we need to find it in terms of s because work is equal to fs. S is equal to v square minus u square upon 2a. Now a certain amount of work was done to change its velocity from u to v. F is also ma. Now we are expressing it in terms of velocity and acceleration. हम क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because kinetic energy depends on the motion of that object. Therefore, we need to express that energy in terms of the velocity, right? So now we see W is equal to force is ma. So ma into s is v square minus u square upon 2a, right? So half this gets cancelled, right? Half m v square minus u square. Okay, right? This a and this a get cancelled. Therefore, w is equal to m into v square minus q square upon 2, which is half into m v square minus u square. If that object is starting from rest, then w is equal to half mv square, right? u is equal to 0 हो जाएगा अगर, तो फिर वो बस इतना रह जाएगा. Okay, work done is the change in kinetic energy. Work done is the change in kinetic energy. Okay, change in kinetic energy work done होता है in this case. Okay, यहाँ पे work done is the change in kinetic energy. If it is moving from 0, then the kinetic energy at that point of time was 0. अगर वो object rest पे है, रुका हुआ है, then the kinetic energy possessed by that object is 0. Okay, but if a certain work was done on it and it acquires a certain velocity, then there is some work done on it and that there is change in kinetic energy. That is the work done. That is what we see here, isn't it? That is what we see here. This is the change in velocity. Okay, so if u is equal to 0, kinetic energy possessed by an object of mass m moving with a uniform velocity v is this one. Okay, kinetic energy is the work done is the change in kinetic energy. ये जो work done है, this is equal to the kinetic energy. Work done is kinetic energy in this case, therefore kinetic energy is half mv square. Okay, change in kinetic energy when initial velocity is 0 is kinetic energy is half mv square. This is the formula for kinetic energy, half mv square, where v is the final velocity of that object, m is the mass of that object. Okay, and if you want to see the change in kinetic energy, we generally do half mu square. If it had a specific velocity initially and then it changed to v, then half mu square minus half mv square करते हैं, or generally the other way around, half mv square half mu square, and then you have this formula if there is a change in kinetic energy. Okay, so this is an example. These are a couple of examples. An object of mass 15 kg is moving with a uniform velocity of 4 meter per second m. Okay, what is the kinetic energy possessed by that object? Simple है, half mv square, moving with a uniform velocity. Now you have to consider that this is not a change. We are just calculating the energy. तो इसमें हम consider करेंगे कि u 0 था. ठीक है? Okay, we are just considering कि वो uniform velocity से चल रहा है. We are not looking at the change, therefore we are considering that u is equal to 0. Half mv square is half into 15 into 4 v square into 4, right? So this is 120 joule. Joule में है, okay? This is the second example. What is the work to be done to increase the velocity of a car from 30 km per hour to 60 km per hour if the mass of the car is 1500 kg? Now work to be done is change in kinetic energy. Work done is change in kinetic energy. देखो यहाँ पे लिखा है work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. So we need to find initial kinetic energy and we need to find final kinetic energy. So initial kinetic energy they have calculated in meter per second. Please remember kilometer per hour to meter per second convert करने के लिए what do you need to do? You need to multiply by 5 by 18. Okay. So if you multiply this and if you get it, then initial velocity is 25 by 3 meter per second. Final velocity is 50 by 3 meter per second. They have calculated it. So initial kinetic energy is half mu square, which is this much. Final kinetic energy is half mv square, which is this much. And therefore, what is the change in kinetic energy? It is this minus this. Okay, half mv square minus half mu square. That is the work done to change the kinetic energy from for an object moving from 30 km per hour to 60 km per hour. Right? ये जब change हुआ, when the velocity changed from 30 to 60, the kinetic energy of the object also increased. What was the work done to increase that? That is the change in kinetic energy. Okay. So what is the kinetic energy of an object? Kinetic energy of an object is the energy possessed by an object due to its motion. Write an expression for the kinetic energy of the object, half mv square. Okay. The kinetic energy of an object mass, or of an object of mass m, moving with a velocity of, okay, let's see, energy. Kinetic energy is given. We write kinetic energy as E k is equal to 25 joule, mass is m, velocity is 5 meter per second. What will be its kinetic energy when the velocity is doubled? Okay. Now what you have to see in this case is, चलो ये सब लिखने के बजाय write the formula half mv square. Okay. Now we know that mass of object remains same when you are just talking about a certain specific object. So mass remains the same. We are just talking about change in velocity. So what will happen if velocity is doubled? When velocity is doubled, you get 4v square. So this will be half m into 4v square. Therefore, kinetic energy also doubles. Okay, kinetic energy becomes, no, it becomes 4 times. It becomes 4 times. Why? Because v is square. So what we do, how do we solve this? We do a simple thing, we take the ratio. So kinetic energy previously, ek1 is half mv square, ek2 is half m into 4v square, right? So बाकी सब तो cancel हो गया. Now this is 4 times. So ek2 is equal to 4 times ek1. Okay. So when the velocity is doubled, the kinetic energy increases 4 times. What will be its kinetic energy when the velocity is increased 3 times? So you can calculate the answer, no? Because you have been given kinetic energy is 25 joule. When the velocity is doubled, it will become 100 joule. What will be the kinetic energy when its velocity is increased 3 times? It will become 9 times. Right? So 9 into 25 is 225. Okay. This will become the kinetic energy of an object when the velocity is increased 3 times. So now we come to potential energy. Okay, this is a different concept. There are a few activities. Stretch a rubber band, release it. It regains its energy, original length. To move back it did some work, right? आपने उसको ऐसे stretch किया and it left it. It moved back. It did some work because there was a force that you had applied and it moved back. It did some work and therefore it had energy. The band had acquired this energy in its stretched position, right? You transfer energy when you stretch a rubber band, right? आपने उसके ऊपर कुछ energy किया, आपने उसके ऊपर कुछ work किया, therefore it had some energy. Okay, You stretch a slinky. What is a slinky? It is a yes, a round metal की चीज होती है, right? I don't know if you have this. It is like a spring. So if you release it again, regains its original length. It will also regain its original length after being compressed. अगर ऐसा है आपको उसने बहुत जोर से compress किया, it will also come back to its original uh, length. Take a toy car and wind its key. It starts to move when put on the ground. The energy depends on the windings. You take a toy car. If you remember, if you have these children's toys, what will happen is you wind it. The more you wind it, the more energy it has, right? The energy that it will show in the movement of the car, right? When you are winding it, you are giving a sort of an energy. Okay, so when you stretch a slinky is like a spring, right? So the energy is transferred to the spring, right? आपने उसको stretch किया तो आपने उसमें कुछ energy डाल दी, और if you push it even further, you have given it some energy, right? If you wind the toy car, you are also giving the toy car some energy in the spring. उसके अंदर भी एक spring होता है, right? You are giving it some amount of energy. Okay, lift an object through a certain height. It falls when released. It had acquired some energy when raised. आपने उसको raise किया against gravity. You have seen this in the previous video. When you lift it against gravity, you are doing some positive work on it, right? It acquires a certain amount of energy because of the work you have done on it. It gets transferred to it. आपने जो energy उसके ऊपर exert की work करने के बाद, that gets transferred to that. It gets more energy when raised to an even greater height. आप gravity के अगेंस्ट आप जितना उसको lift करोगे, you are doing more and more work, you are exerting more and more energy on it. It is getting that energy stored in it. ठीक है, वो store हो जाती है energy उसके अंदर. Like your bow and arrow, you stretch the string and then you release it. When you stretch it, right, आपने ऐसे उसे stretch किया, it is getting a certain amount of energy because of the work you are doing on that stretching. आप stretch करने के लिए you are exerting a certain amount of energy, you are doing a certain amount of work that gets transferred to that string. When you release it, it gets a kinetic energy or it moves further. बहुत आगे जाके it moves because that object gets kinetic energy. But when you are stretching it, it also has a certain amount of energy. It gets stored in it, right? The energy gets stored due to the work done on the object. If the energy transferred is not immediately used up as kinetic energy, it gets stored as potential energy. आपने अगर किसी चीज को धक्का दिया, if you're pushing something and if it immediately starts to move, then it gets directly converted into kinetic energy. But if it doesn't start moving immediately, what will happen is that energy gets stored in it. जैसे आपने वो spring को stretch करके रखा, it has the potential to go back to its own position if you leave it. Remember the word I said, potential. If you stretch a rubber band, you give it the potential to go back to its own place. So if you stretch this arrow का जो string होता है, you're giving it the potential to move a certain distance. So if you leave that string, that potential gets converted into kinetic energy. वो जो आपने energy उस string पे use की, it gets stored in the string as potential energy, which can then get transferred into kinetic energy, right? So potential energy is possessed by the object by virtue of its position or configuration. Potential energy possessed by an object is the energy present in it by the virtue of its position or configuration. It is a stored energy. It is a stored mechanical energy which gives it the potential to do certain amount of work. आप उसको you are making it capable of doing a certain amount of work. Kinetic energy is when you do some work on it and it immediately gains some amount of energy due to its motion. पर अगर वो move ना करने लगे, it can store the motion, the energy which will eventually get transferred to kinetic energy, वो उसके अंदर स्टोर करके रखता है, which means it has potential energy. A very vague way of understanding this, very it is not a good way. पर अगर आप खाना खा रहे हो, आपको पता है कि आपका कल फुटबॉल मैच है या क्रिकेट मैच है, right? Tomorrow morning you have a football or cricket match. What you do is you eat a certain amount of certain kind of food, or if you're running a marathon, you have to eat carb rich food. What does it, how does it make a difference? You're storing that energy which can be easily used by you tomorrow when you start moving, and you convert that into chemical energy. That energy that you had stored in you is the potential energy. So this is a vague concept that this is not exactly how it works, because that was chemical energy. But in this case, this is mechanical energy which comes to that object based on the ability to do work, the potential ability to do work. That is why it is called potential energy. Okay. So an energy of an object increases as it is raised to a certain height. The work being done against gravity to raise it gets transferred to it as energy. Right, this time we are only going to talk about potential energy as it gets raised to a certain height. Right, an object in a given position has a certain amount of potential energy if it is against gravity. The energy present in such an object is the gravitational potential energy. Now please remember, we are only going to be talking about gravitational potential energy in this case. Gravitational potential energy is the work done. It is the work done in raising an object from the ground to the point against gravity. This work done gets transferred to it as energy, to as potential energy, right? You consider a mass of object M which is raised to a certain height h from the ground. Okay, this is mass M. It is raised to a certain height h. The minimum force required to do this is the weight of the object, mg. You have done this in the previous gravitation ka chapter. Minimum force required to do this is mass into gravitational force, which is mg. And the object gains energy equal to the work done on it. What is the work done on it? Force into displacement. So what is the force? Minimum force required to do this is mg. And what is the displacement? Displacement is the height. Therefore, work done is mgh. Work is equal to the potential energy that gets stored in that object. वर्क जितना किया उतना ही उसमें पोटेंशियल एनर्जी आया. Therefore, potential energy is mgh. Potential energy is m into g into h. This is the gravitational potential energy. We are only talking about gravitational potential energy. An object in a given position can have different potential energies with respect to one level. यानी अगर इधर उसको लिया तो इसकी potential energy will be different from the potential energy it is given here, because the height is lower. So if the height is lower, the potential energy is lower. If the height is higher, the potential energy is higher. Remember that we did this activity when we're talking about kinetic energy. We talked about that activity. We didn't do it. That if you raise a certain object to a certain point and you push it, if you let it go, it will create a higher displacement in the sand. I explained it to you in terms of momentum. But in this case, you will realize that when you're taking it to a greater height, you're giving it a greater potential energy, which will ensure that it has a greater kinetic energy and therefore a greater momentum, which will cause that sand to move further, to get displaced. The potential energy of an object depends on the height in vertical height, difference in vertical height, and is not dependent on the path taken by the object. So even if you move it like this, आपने उसको सीधा किया या उसको ऐसे ऐसे zigzag उस height तक पहुंच के लेके गए, in the same, the work done is the same. The potential, because the displacement is the same, and therefore the potential energy is the same because the displacement is just height. Okay, and force always remains gravitational force. So in It is not path dependent, it is height dependent. Please remember, not path dependent, but height dependent. Okay. So find the energy possessed by an object of mass 10 kg when it is at a height of 6 meter above the ground. Simple है, m into g is 9.8 and height is 6 meter. So you have potential energy is 588 joule. Okay. An object of mass 12 kg is at a certain height above the ground. You have not been given h. Okay. If the potential energy of the object is 480 joule, find the height at which the object is with respect to ground, given g is 10. So you know energy is given, you have mgh, right? You need to find the height. So this is 480 upon mass is 12 into 10. So you have height of 4 meter. Okay. So what have we learned in this chapter? We have learned that there are various forms of energy, and mechanical energy can either be kinetic or potential energy. Mechanical energy of an object is the sum of its kinetic and potential energy. This we will see in the next part. Okay. So it can either be kinetic or potential. An object in motion possesses kinetic energy. An object of mass m moving with velocity has kinetic energy half mv square. The change in kinetic energy is the work done, right? The work done is the change in kinetic energy. If the kinetic energy of an object, what is the kinetic energy of an object at rest? Zero, because velocity is zero. The energy possessed by a body due to its change in position or shape is called potential energy. You are giving it the potential to do a certain amount of work. That is, you are storing that energy in that object as the potential to do work. That is the potential energy. The gravitational potential energy of an object of mass m, gravitational potential energy raised through a height h from the earth's surface, is given by mg into h. Okay. So these are the two things that you learn. These are very important: kinetic energy, potential energy. And this is also very easy. If an object is at a certain height, it has a certain potential energy. If it is at a certain position, it has a certain potential energy, right? If that object starts to move because of the work done on it or because of the potential energy that was stored in it, then it is the kinetic energy. Okay. Please watch parts 3 and 4. We are going to be talking about conservation of energy, and then we are going to be talking about the different questions, and we are going to talk about power also, because it's a commercial unit of power also. Okay. So please watch the next three parts 3 and 4. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends. Please subscribe to our channel, and please press the bell icon. That will give you notification every time we upload a new video. Right? For now, I bid you goodbye. See you for the next part.